We're here in Pennsylvania with Jax Forrest and Bo Bassett, the number 1 and number 2 recruits of the class of 2026. I'm here because you guys tomorrow's the first day college coaches can reach out to you. And how are you feeling about that? Are you excited?
Oh, yeah. I'm really excited, a little nervous, but mainly excited and just blessed, having, someone like Bo alongside and the rest of our team. We got a lot of guys that are going to be getting a lot of calls, and, I'm super excited for all of them and for me and my family, obviously, and just grateful and looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. Been dreaming about this for a long time and really excited to, I guess, just see what the colleges have to offer and where I best fit. And, this decision is a big part of my future, right? And so I have to really think about where I can be my best self and where I can have the most success in wrestling and in life. So we're really excited for that. And the whole squad of 2026 at our school is really excited.
That's awesome. Just before we get too deep into this interview, a quick plug. We are going to be, like, me and Connor, he's right here. We're here, us Flow guys, we're here. We're going to be making like a more in-depth video after tomorrow. We're going to be following you guys along. So that'll be coming out in a couple of weeks, but we just thought it would be a good opportunity to get this interview first. To start things off, what's with both of you guys getting massive face injuries at the same time?
I'm not sure. Honestly, I wrestle the same way for the last 11 years. I've never had like stitches or an injury, but this week I was just wrestling head block, and then I got 5 stitches here in my forehead, but has never happened until this week out of 11 years wrestling the same way.
Yeah, mine came from messing around playing football, but the same thing. Like I played football, backyard football my whole life.
Wait, for 11 years?
Yeah. I've been jumping up, going up, tackling people, and then we're playing a 2-hand touch game, and I come down and my nose is broken and my face is all messed up. So, but it makes for cool pictures.
Did you get the ball?
I did not get the ball. No, Melvin came away with it.
He still caught it?
Yeah, so
broke nose and got it.
Not only did I have a broken nose, came up with my nose crooked. I hear people yelling. Melvin's oohing at me. It's like, oh, jeez. This is embarrassing in a lot of ways.
Did you know it was broken right away?
No, I didn't know what was wrong. I just knew something was wrong. Like, my mind was spinning. My eye got hit in the eye here, and then it went over and hit me in the nose. So my eye was, like, shut. I was, like, walking around, and then I hear everybody yelling, oh, my gosh, his nose.
It was crooked?
Yeah, it was gross. And then I get inside to tell my dad, like, what happened, because he was inside. It was a graduation party for my sister and Mason and our teammates, and so he's inside, I'm outside messing around playing football. I come inside, no shirt on, we're playing shirts for skins. I have mud or like grass stains all over me. My dad's like, did you get in a fight or something? Like, what happened? And then the guy he's sitting next to is like, his nose is broken. And so my dad starts ripping into me, yelling, why are you playing football? You have world team trials this weekend. So it was not a fun day.
Is it a lot harder to wrestle with that mask on?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of improvements, but like we started off with like 3 or 4 masks, and I was just like putting them on, taking them off, putting it on just to see which one like I liked the most and which one kind of was easiest to wrestle, which we ended up choosing the full face one just because it would stay in place, and that's kind of the biggest thing I was worried about because, if I broke my nose again, it would have been really bad, and I would have to get surgery and everything, and so I had to make sure my safety was like all right first, so like it wouldn't move around and hurt too bad. But at a cost, my vision is like I can see like pretty much directly in front of me. I can't see like up here, across here, down here.
So it's a vision thing. It's not breathing or anything.
Yeah, the breathing's hard too because obviously my nose, so like it's all swollen in there, and I can't breathe out of this nostril yet. Which
really?
Hoping something changes, but I'm not sure. But yeah, so I had to go full mouth breathing, and the mask is like this and then this. So it's hard because it gets like hot in there. So it's like steaming and there's sweat dripping down my eyes and everything. And, normally if you have sweat, you could just go like this. But like if I wanted to, I would have to like put my finger like in and try and get it out. So,
right. That's interesting. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So
there's nothing worse than when you can't wipe the sweat out of your eye.
No, it was hard. And, wrestling somebody like Luke, who's really fast and loves the ankle picks, like I can't see my feet. So it's like, all right, like I'm just going to have to go fully based off feel, which, thankfully, it didn't go the way I wanted, but, I'm satisfied, I guess, with how I wrestled and competed with, such a disadvantage.
Yeah. What about you? How did the 20s go for you? How did you feel?
Yeah, U20s is great. I felt good. I had a bye to the finals, so that was a really nice advantage. I just got to watch, I guess, my bracket play out, and then obviously my teammates as well. And so for me, I had never been in that situation before, that like position waiting all day till the finals. And it didn't really matter in my mind who I had in the finals. I had an idea that it would be Valencia. But to me, I was going to wrestle the same way no matter who it was and just try to score as many points as possible. And so Valencia came through the bracket like we all assumed. I think everybody that I talked to, even my coaches per se, and they assumed it'd be him. So we actually kind of had a little bit of a game plan for him going in. And then I got a workout in. I did a full match before the matches started. I did it with Melvin. Then we did some stance motion sprints after that. But I was ready to go. I really like that. Waiting to the finals, I'll definitely be back at the Open next year and try to solidify that spot again because that's a huge advantage. And now I get to go to Pan Ams as well from winning the Open. So I think World Team Trials was great. I would like to wrestle more like I did in the second match than the first. I feel like the second match I was able to attack more, create more opportunities for myself to score. But, there's always little things to improve. And I think now it's not just winning the nation, now it's winning the world. And that's a big thing. And you got to dial in and do everything right to make that happen.
I want to move on for now, but bookmark that, talking about how you wrestled better in your second match than your first match. I want to bring that up again later.
Yeah.
You kind of talking about how your guys' U20 tournaments, before we came here, I was looking with Bray, just kind of looking at your guys' tournaments, and it feels like almost always while one of you is experiencing like awesome victory, the other one is a little disappointed with how their tournament went. And you guys kind of have done a lot of alternating back and forth in that way. Have you guys talked about that? Can you speak to that at all?
Well, first of all, we'd like to both be winning as much as possible.
Yeah.
But I do. I mean, the pattern has happened. I lost it last chance. He won it last chance. All that type of stuff has been going on. And however it may happen, like Ironman or Super 32 or who's number one, that type of stuff. So I think we want to win every time. And sometimes you may not do that. And so it's just fuel to the fire. And it's not just like if I win and he loses, well, I don't care because I won. Like, obviously you care and you're motivated because your teammate lost and you feel for him. So every single time it's a boost for either of us. But, hopefully this next upcoming year we win both.
Oh, yeah.
A lot more. So,
yeah, I mean, it's looking at it like more like from the loser's perspective, like, we've switched and stuff, but like the other person, like they feel because, we've been in each other's shoes. We've both won tournaments, like highest level. And we both lost tournaments at the highest level. So it's like, wow, you want to celebrate, your best friend's victory. I mean, you got to like, you lost, and it kind of like stinks in a way. Like if you win and then you see your teammate lose, it's kind of like, man, like I won and everything, like that's great. But, I've been in his shoes before and I mean, it sucks. Like, and Bo could tell you too, like losing like that and seeing your teammate win. I mean, it's awesome for them, but then you're like, man, like this day would have been a lot better if we both would have won, Right. But I mean, that's the way it happens, and that's what keeps pushing us to keep getting better and better. And there's going to be times where we're both win at the highest level, and those are the best days that there is.
Are you guys competitive with each other at all, or are you more just like lifting each other up?
I feel like we're more lifting each other up, but if we are competitive, it's like who can score more points, who can like maybe dominate more, that type of thing as far as competitive. But
it's not who can win this tournament.
Right. No. We're cheering for each other as far as that. It's not like I'm going to cheer ever against a teammate, but I think, maybe you'll compete like, oh, I'm going to try to score more this match, or I'm going to, whatever it may be, more pins or whatever.
Ever like bets?
We never really bet, but we'll have like, competitions.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Our competitions. And
yeah.
if you win, it's like you feel good. But yeah. Even like States was with pins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then one guy ended up doing tech falls, and then half the team was trying to get tech falls, and then half was trying to do pins. But we have teams, obviously, with me and Jax, and then the competition with the whole entire, Bishop McCourt team. So it's fun. It's always been like that, though, because they always had track wrestling, would always do the stats really cool, and they would have like most pins, least amount of time, most techs. So you could always look it up. So that was always a thing that we had done since probably middle school, elementary school.
You guys learned how to use the track wrestling stats?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
There's the PA Wrestling website where it has like the amount of, like in your career, it's like how many matches won, lost, like your percent, and then it's like how many tech falls and pins. So we're all seeing like who can get to 100 wins or 200 wins eventually, because we wrestle 50 matches a year. So we're on pace to get up to 200 and trying to get 100 tech falls or pins, whatever the tournament is.
Yeah. That's cool. So you guys obviously, because you're teammates and you're always next to each other, you guys get compared a lot. Talk about your similarities, but also your differences.
I think, first of all, similarities is obviously we're from the same area, same school, so people see us a lot together, right? Train together, training partners, whether it's scrambling before a tournament or whatever it may be. So there it already starts with people trying to compare. And then, we both have, decent success. And so winning was always, that gets you noticed as well. And then when you're doing it with a teammate, I think that's really amazing. But I think the similarities is we just love to score points. I think we both have a really fun style in a little bit of a different way, but we both are trying to do the same end goal, and that's scoring points and just being fun to watch. I know that Jackson and I, we talked about, we want to be remembered. We want to be legendary as far as styles, and maybe even change the sport. Try to create a style and pace that people have to adapt to and have to change and want to wrestle like. So I think that we are the same in wanting to be remembered as guys that were fun to watch. And I think differences is maybe in style. Maybe I know Jax is more funky, or Jax hits, his slide bys, or different moves that I maybe hit. And so I think we're pretty similar, but there definitely is like the differences in maybe how we do it. But yeah, I think it's great that people do that, and we're just going to keep making each other better.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. There's like you were saying, the differences is like how we do it. I mean, we ultimately are trying to score 20 points a match, folk style, that is. And like, we're both really good top, really good bottom, really good neutral. We both score a lot of different ways. It's just his ways are a little different than mine. And, that's what makes it so much fun to, watch us wrestling against each other, like in practice, because, he's really good where he's really good, and I'm good at where I'm good. And, so it's just going at it, and it's just fun to watch, and, scrambling and getting in positions.
What about personality-wise? What separates you guys?
I know that Jax likes ice cream more than me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would say he eats healthier. For sure.
Well, I mean, I think that, no, I think, honestly, it's not too different. I think, we're both pretty focused in on our goals, and I think we both take school and stuff like that very seriously. Our faith is serious, and, I think that me and Jax are the same in a lot of ways like that. But I was joking about the ice cream. Jax likes ice cream. But we always like to get ice cream. We were at the Ranger earlier, so
just came from there.
Yeah. That's a place we like to go. But yeah, I think that we're pretty much the same, just chasing down, trying to be the best we can.
Yeah, and I mean, we've learned from each other, how to be better people, better wrestlers, just continuing to not be the same person, but just to pick a little thing with Bo did in this situation and that one, just to like keep adding the blocks to become, like we were saying, the best athlete, the best person, have the best faith that we could have. And, it's great having each other and the rest of our team. We're always trying to just keep putting those blocks on top of each other and just climb up the mountain and, reach the top with each other.
If a college coach was trying to recruit both of you, should they do it in the same way, or should they treat each of you differently?
I think, obviously we're different people, so it can't be exactly the same. There's some things where he wants to do maybe later in life that's different than I, like majors and that kind of stuff. But I mean, I haven't thought of that question.
I think we have the same values. Yeah, I think we probably look around the same things that we're looking for. And I think, it's going to be a big deciding factor where he goes and where my teammates go. So I think, yes, they should recruit us maybe the same way, but obviously a couple different things. They're different people and maybe different, like Jack said, different majors or interests and timelines and stuff.
Jax does not want to be called.
Yeah.
Jax was saying earlier that he doesn't do phone calls a lot, so he's excited for or excited. I don't know if excited is the right word. And have to get it together tomorrow when his coaches are blowing up your phone.
Yeah, no more do not disturb on.
Yeah.
What do you guys expect your night tonight to be like, and what do you expect your day tomorrow to be like?
Long, exciting. I'm sure we'll be around each other some and with our families other times. So, just excited for it and a lot of phone calls.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're blessed. I think it's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot going on. I'm excited. I don't know. I haven't really thought about what it will be like, but I'm excited to see. And I'm hoping at 12 a.m. we get some calls rolling in, and obviously early tomorrow morning and throughout the whole day. I think day one's going to be pretty crazy, and probably the first week and month will be pretty crazy. So we're excited for that. Bless you.
Thank you.
I asked Jax this question in the car earlier, but do you think that I want you to answer again on this interview, by the way. But do you think that the first coach that calls you will have any sort of maybe a little extra impact than if they called you maybe tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like what I was saying to you, obviously. I mean, it definitely leaves an impact. You know, it's not like the deciding factor, you know, but, you know, it's just cool to think like I was the first person that they wanted to call, and, you know, they're the first call. Like, I mean, like Bo said, we've been looking forward to this one for a long time, and, you know, it's finally time where we've been, you know, not talking, but we've like been in rooms with these coaches, and we're like, I hope they reach out to me in the future, or I hope they recruit me to see, you know, if that's a place where I ultimately go. You know, there's a lot of things that go into it rather than just, you know, the first person to call. But I mean, I think that it's definitely going to be something that, you know, I'll think twice about.
I agree with that. I think the first call, I would say the first like 3 or 4, 5 are going to be pretty important. But obviously that first one holds, I guess, a lot of value. And we'll be seeing who calls. I don't know, 12 a.m., that's pretty late. That's
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see who stays up and, you know, sacrifices their sleep to get that first call in there. That'll be cool. I think if you get more than one at midnight, that's pretty impressive too. And guys, you know, obviously college coaches will be calling early in the morning too. So I think the first few are really important, but that first one, I don't know, it's just different.
Yeah.
Are there any, you mentioned that you think about guys like, oh, it'd be cool to hear from them.
Yeah.
Are there any, I know you guys probably don't want to like talk too much about anything because you don't want to give the wrong impression, but are there any personalities out there that you would be willing to name? Like, oh, it'd be cool to get a phone call from this guy or that guy.
Yeah. I know it's not, I mean, I want to obviously talk to all these people, and, you know, like I was saying, when we went and got some ice cream, you know, just knowing that like Olympic champions or world champions, NCAA champions are reaching out to me, you know, believing in me that I could do the same thing as them. I mean, that's really cool. And I know my dad, like I was saying, my dad's kind of like the same age as some of these coaches. So he looked up to them and, you know, wanted to be like them and was following them. So I think he's going to be excited, and he's going to be like, yeah, that's really cool. I remember watching him and, you know, trying to wrestle like him back in the day.
I agree. I think that it'll be cool to talk to a lot of people. I want to throw a shout out to Mike Mockbelio. I think that he needs to coach very soon because he's the man as far as personality, and he's awesome. So I want to throw a shout out to him, and I wish he'd coach. But out of the coaches that there are, I think they're all amazing. I know that Jax and I, we have a lot of connections to a lot of different ones. And I feel like, honestly, I know at least 1 or 2 coaches from probably every D1 staff. Like I've, you know, been to a clinic, or they were coaching this team or whatever it may be. So I think that, yeah, it's going to be great to hear from everyone. And honestly, when the day comes, it's going to be hard to tell a lot of people no, right? You got to tell everyone but one staff and one college no. That'll be tough. But I'm excited to hear from everyone. And there's a lot of really, really great people.
Yeah, and it's funny because, you know, we've wrestled college opens and senior level stuff and everything. So it's like some of these guys, you know, we've wrestled against.
I was just
Yeah, well, I can say too, like, I won't name any names so no one gets in trouble, but like some of the wrestlers from each college, maybe like dropping in your DMs or whatever it may be to send you a message to come out and train or whatever it is, just being cool and, you know, saying if you need anything, let me know through the process. And I think stuff like that's cool, you know, and having connections like that of people you've wrestled in high school or in college opens or in last chance in the Olympic trials, like people like that reaching out's cool.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that me and Bo are wrestling people a couple months ago that could reach out to us and try and get us to go to where they're coaching now.
That's so funny that you said that because that was literally my next question, and then you just threw it at it. That's crazy. How did you guys come to be teammates?
So he's been here his whole life. I'm from North Carolina, and it's funny because I was always pretty good in North Carolina, but I'd come up to Tyra Nationals, McDonough duels, and, you know, I'd get beat up on. So we ended up going over to Philly area and training over there for like years, and, you know, coming up different weekends and staying for a month. So it's funny, I ended up on the other side of the state. But I remember like during COVID, kind of, you know, once again, you know, North Carolina, there's no training going on down there. So I came up to, you know, up here to the compound and stayed with people, and, you know, went home, and it was like we always thought like if I got to that level, like we'd move. And I was like, Mom and Dad, like this is where like these people, they have the same the same mindset. They have the same goals that I want. And then it just so happened to work that, my sister is looking to go to college and she found a school she really liked up here. We're closer to my family up in New York. So, I mean, it just seemed like everything kind of clicked. And, this is the area where we've been for almost 3 years now. And, I'm sure we're going to be here for a lot longer. So
God works in mysterious ways and things happen for a reason. So we've trained, like Jack said, our whole life. Since I can remember, elementary days even, Jax would come up and train, or we'd see each other at like a Jeff Jordan camp, which I remember that. And yeah, I mean, we've been training since the beginning, before we were very good. I remember we weren't very good in the earlier days. And then, obviously as you get older, we were able to make games and stuff. And now just being able to have a full-time training partner like that is huge. It's been huge for my development, been huge for, as a training partner. You really can't ask for better than what we have. So I think, yeah, it's been a long time of training. And then once Jax, decided to come up, it's been great ever since.
Oh, man. How did you guys develop like such different styles if you guys have been training together for so long?
I feel like he had his base in North Carolina, and he kind of wrestled. He still wrestles like he did then, obviously at a way higher level, and he's gotten a lot better and stuff. But I think that he always had that style, and I always kind of had mine from going to Young Guns since I was started, and the style that my dad wanted me to wrestle. And obviously I fell in love with that style and took it into my own. And I think that this is just how we've always wrestled. And so we just get better, almost bouncing ideas off each other, sharing, our styles and stuff. And so now it's kind of like I'm trying to be a mix of, myself, but try to add things that I'm getting from my partners and maybe guys that I want to be like, right, and watching guys. So, yeah, I think that I had my style, though, from growing up at Young Guns, and my dad always, wanted to have a style that scored points and, was hard-nosed. So that's what I always did.
Yeah, and mine was, it's kind of similar story to him, but my dad wrestled high school, college, some, and, he was kind of longer, scrambly. So my mom always said when I was started like 1 year old, like he would just grab me and just, because I'm the first boy, he always wanted a wrestler, just grab me and just kind of roll around. And so I think I kind of, as crazy as it sounds, I think I kind of developed a scrambly kind of style from, just rolling around in the front yard or in the house or just somewhere with my dad. And then, same thing with Bo. He always told me to score points. Don't be boring. Like, don't be like one of those guys that just tries to hang on and win 2-1. And, it's crazy. That's what Coach Bill always tells us, that he would rather us lose 16-15, having just going out there scoring points than to lose 2-1 or something like that. So, and then just obviously, like Bo said, I took it into my own style, gathered the moves that I like to hit that I find work for me. And, here we are.
What's interesting on that note, this made me think of it, about not holding on to wins. Me and Kozak, actually, he works at Flow too. He was looking at analyzing Sidikov's matches, and he noticed that no matter what, even if Sidikov was up on criteria or up by a point, he always shot, like always went for the push out or went for and it's that you don't see that a lot that with like 30 seconds to go, he would still be attacking. Is interesting. That can backfire sometimes, but and no doubt. With him, it never did. So yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
When did you guys first, so as part of this recruiting thing, I think a lot of people just look, oh, of course, like these guys are big recruits, are going to get phone calls. It's just how things go, but you guys aren't overnight successes, and this has been like a long time coming, right? Like, how did you guys first fall in love with wrestling, and when did you first realize that you were good at it?
For me, I first fell in love with wrestling, I believe, in my second year. I loved it from the beginning. I went to Young Guns when I was young, around 7 years old. That was always my club, and obviously they have a lot of legends that have already been through high school, have been through college, have been through the world stage, and now on the Olympic stage. And so I've always had amazing role models. My dad has been a huge inspiration for me. He's been the man. So he wrestled in high school and then coached high schools in the area, and then he also helped with Young Guns before I was even born. So it was almost like I was born into the sport of wrestling, but I feel like I fell in love on my own just from doing it, right? And my dad, he's never missed a practice of mine, but, I think that, falling in love with wrestling was an early thing for me, and it just kind of became probably one of the biggest parts of my life early. And so,
do you even remember falling in love with it, or were you too young?
I do, yeah. So even before I started wrestling, I was on the bench. I was like what we called, me and my brother were the water boys on our on my dad's high school wrestling team. I still remember it. We ran out with them one time around the mat. I can remember doing that. But anyway, like the little pre-match warm-up. But yeah, so we did that. Did all that stuff. We just run around during practice, not really understanding what it was. But from an early age, I mean, we would go with my dad, do his 5 a.m. lifts because we thought it was fun. Like, stuff like that. I've always done stuff like that since I was young. And yeah, you just learn to fall in love with it. And now it's all I want to do. And so I think that, yeah, wrestling was a love of mine from an extremely young age. And it only grew as I got older, obviously. And now it's, a really, really big part of my life.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like what I was saying earlier. My dad wrestled. He had 3 girls before me, and he wanted a boy, and he loved wrestling. He wanted me to wrestle. So, like I was saying, I was a year old or so, rolling around wrestling with him. But I always did it. I played other sports. I played soccer. I played football, basketball a little bit. So, I mean, I liked it. I was good at it. But then, like, once I started getting like 5th, 6th grade, I mean, I knew like, I like doing this. I could have, fun trips with my dad and a couple of my brothers going up to Pennsylvania. Like, heck yeah, that sounds awesome. Having a big family, I'm not able to get much one-on-one time with my dad as much when I was younger. So I thought it was awesome. I went up there, met some friends, then I just kept wanting to go back. And then I think all those things adding up with just being able to wrestle and push myself and just, win. I love to win. And so I think everything just kind of added up. And then like I finally knew yeah, wrestling, it's what I want to do. I can be great. I can go to college. I could, wrestle after college. I can make money from it. I mean, it's just, this is what I want to do. And, I have a head start, so I'm just going to run away with it.
Yeah. Yep. You mentioned that you have a big family. You were one of 7, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you said that already. But...
3 older sisters and 3 younger brothers.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'd never thought about it that way, and that wrestling might get you more like one-on-one time with your dad.
Yeah.
Because you obviously have to divide his attention a lot. That's interesting. Sorry, one second. Here we go. You guys are the top 2 recruits in your class, but there's a lot of other kids from Bishop McCourt that might get calls tomorrow too. Who are kids that coaches might not be thinking about right away, but that they should be thinking about that go to Bishop McCourt?
I'll take the first guy. I'll take Big O. Owen McMullen, he's in our class. He was a 170-pounder last year, actually, and now he is sacrificing for the team. He's dropping down to, I believe, about 145, 152 range. But anyway, this guy, he works his tail off. He's been with us since 2nd grade, 3rd grade, and he's always been in the area. Guy, he just moved over 1 schools, but he's been here for as long as I can remember, and that dude grinds every day, and he puts in the work, and he just keeps pounding the stone, and eventually that stone's going to break, and he's going to break through. And so really excited for Big O. He's doing a lot of great things. He just got ranked in the country, number 20, I believe, on Matt Scouts. So he was all excited about that. He's going to be on Flo's ranking soon after, I would say, the Fargo season comes. And I think he's going to bust through this year. I'm really excited, really proud of all the work he's been putting in. And he's a great person. So I'm really excited to see what he can do. He's got good grades. He's really doing everything right? And so that's going to be someone that maybe people might not know about. I think he is known to most because he puts himself out there. He goes to all the camps and stuff, but I think maybe they don't know him yet, but they will. And I'm excited to see what success he has this summer and then next season as well. So Owen McMullen, he is going to be a junior.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That's coaches, if you're listening.
So we have 2, and then we had 5 other guys, ranked in, Matt Scouts 150 for the class. And, Owen's great. And, I want to give a shout out to Caleb Rodriguez. He's our heavyweight. He moved here from Florida, a year and a half ago. And, he had to sit out this year for, moving up, but, won NHSCA last year, took 2nd this year, placed at Fargo last year. I mean, he's really good. And, once he's he plays football too, but, once he gets into wrestling and he's going to be really good. And he's definitely one that colleges are going to want for a good heavyweight now that they can rely on.
Yeah, I think, too, what Jack said, too, he had to sit out last year. And so if he was in the lineup, people would know about him. He'd be top 10 for sure in the country. I mean, I don't know what his ceiling is, maybe higher. But I think sitting out really hurt him. Yeah. And now he's back and he's motivated and fired up. Oh, yeah. So I agree with that one. Yeah, Caleb.
What was it like being able to compete in your guys' first PIAAs this last year?
I think I had a little bit more motivation going into it. I got beat at the regional tournament, and looking back on it, I was actually thinking about it, earlier at practice, like, that was probably the best thing that could have happened to me, losing, I mean, losing sucks, everybody hates it, but yeah, it's going to happen. And, it happened at the right time there to motivate me. And, then I wrestled him in the state finals. There's no better way to go out than 15-0 after losing the regionals. But I mean, it was great. And, I was ever like being from North Carolina, me and my dad would go to North Carolina states, and then we'd watch the Pennsylvania states. And, it was just awesome, just being a state champ up here.
It was unbelievable. There's a lot of different things that I loved about it. It was great to be there for the first time. I'd been going since like 5 years old to Hershey to watch states.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been there for all every single state tournament, I believe, since then, and all the crazy moments that have happened there, all the 4-timers and stuff. And so it's been cool to see all that. And now that, we have the opportunity to be there and wrestle, it's unbelievable. It was really great. All the things from just doing so well as a team to Jax Tech following that dude, making him absolutely dominating. And then, Melvin pushing through his injuries and stuff and still getting that state title. That took a lot of heart. And, little things like that I think was amazing. Gibson's last ride, stuff like that is stuff I'll remember for a really long time. And I'm proud of all the guys. And next year I'm excited to go down there and win a team title.
Oh, yeah. What does wrestling mean in the state of Pennsylvania?
Well, I guess I would know. A little more about wrestling. I know is it's the sport here, and I know that honestly, it's not controversial. Honestly, I mean, Pennsylvania's got to be the best state over the past couple years in history and stuff. I feel like they got to be the best state as far as stats and just guys are, wrestling's everything here, and you would know if you live here. Like this kind of what we do, and there's so many good clubs like in this state. It's insane. Like you can go 30 minutes. West or 30 minutes south, you'd get unbelievable partners. You go, 30 minutes east and you get great partners there. It's just crazy the amount of clubs and partners that you have here and opportunities. And I think that's why Pennsylvania is the best. We have a lot of great coaching, a lot of good opportunities, and people gravitate towards that. So I think Pennsylvania wrestling is legendary, and I just want to keep that history rolling.
Yeah, I mean, it's the reason why part of the reason why I moved up here, it's so big here, and, I had big goals. My younger brother, we had big goals, we weren't going to be able to do that as easily in North Carolina. Things would have had to change. And so, I mean, coming up to the best wrestling state in the country, it was, quite near perfect, for us and my family. And, it's worked out for my whole family, even the ones who don't wrestle, they love it here a lot more than they did down there. So, it's been one of the best decisions in me and my family's life, and I'm sure my parents and all my siblings would agree with that.
I want to circle back to that question I bookmarked earlier.
Yeah.
You talked about how you thought you wrestled better in your second match. At least for me, I always felt like the first match was always the hardest. I feel like that's common for wrestlers. Do you guys feel the same?
Agreed.
I feel like you shaking that adrenaline out, right? And before we came here, I was watching some of your guys' past interviews, and I think it was your interview on Clash of Combat. You were just really candid with them, and you're like, yeah, no, I get super nervous still. Like even though I'm on these stages all the time, like I still get very nervous. And so you said pressure is privilege, and it's okay to be nervous. But for me, in my personal experience, and I feel like with the majority of people that have not reached like the level that you guys have reached, it can manifest in ways that, like for me, I know I used to get dog tired even when I was in good shape. Like the adrenaline would dump and I would get tired, or things like that. Like, what do you guys do to make it so that the adrenaline that you get or the nerves that you get are you manifesting that in a positive way, or are you just kind of trying to ignore it? Like, what are you guys doing to get past that in those first matches or in those matches where there's pressure, the pressure's on?
As far as at World Team Trials, that was the weirdest day of competition that I've ever had. Just weighing in at 7 a.m., wrestling at 4 p.m. against arguably the second best guy in the country. Arguably, you don't know. Could be the second best guy in the world. I mean, it could be. You never know. So for me, it's like, I don't know who I'm going to wrestle, but I know he's going to be really good, and he's going to be bringing a skill set that's going to be fun to, match up against. And so for me, it was a lot of waiting, which actually I think built up maybe more nerves than I needed, but I've done a really good job, and I've been really a lot better, I think, at using them in a positive way. This is what I trained for. And when you can be confident in your training, confident in your faith, I think a lot of those nerves go away, if not all of them, and then you can put it into your performance. So I feel like instead of losing the adrenaline, maybe you gain it longer, or you gain it for the whole match, or you just don't have that dump. And I think also that's why I did the match beforehand. Just being there gets you all excited. And then I wrestled a really hard match, like I said, with Melvin. And so that was kind of the first blow of my lungs. And then come that first match against Aiden, it was go time. And nerves were there, but probably not as much as they should be, because I was using them. I was taking them and using them in a positive way. And that's something that I've really dialed in on, though. I'm going to be wrestling at some really big stages, so I need to know how to use that stuff and use the energy in the air and, make it an asset. So I think that's important.
Yeah, I mean, wrestling at, Last Chance and then the Olympic trials, there's so many people there at the Bryce Jordan Center. I never wrestled, such high-level guys and, such a big arena. I mean, it was like, so I really had to calm down, or, it would have been bad. I would have been gassing, but, I had great people around me to help me. Jose was there with me, and we were praying, and he was praying over me. And then, a couple matches before I was up, I was praying, just asking just to, allow me just to wrestle like how I know how to wrestle in practice. I mean, ultimately, practice is the matches where it's going to be. And, so if I just knew if I could just have a clear mind and just wrestle how I know I can, and, put moves together, just having a clear mind out there, I mean, I can beat anyone. And, that's something that I learned, being able to wrestle there. And going forward, that's going to try and be the, the mindset going into every match is clear mind, and, win or lose, the sun's going to come up the next day. God's going to be with me, and, with everybody in the building, blessing them with, things they need or things they want.
Do you guys practice any like mindfulness or mental exercises? Do you guys do breath work? Do you guys do anything like that?
Well, I know that we do mindset training every day at practice. Every single day we have talks. My dad gives talks, or coaches at the end give talks. We watch a lot of mindset videos as well, and then my dad will talk to us and he'll have us raise our hands and, what we learned from this video. And we have things like that. And then we do FCA at school. So we're doing Bible studies as much as we can there. We're connected with the FCA guys at USA Wrestling, with guys like Jose, as Jack's mentioned, and Coach Hess and all those guys out there. So we have things like that, right? But I think that, the most important thing as far as mindset is confidence. And that's something that we work on a lot. So having confidence and just being ready to go when it's time to go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, like you was saying, confidence is such a big thing, not only confidence that you can win, because anybody could say like they're confident, I'm good, I could go out there and win, but really you need the confidence in the positions. If you're in a scramble, you got to have confidence to score, not just to, not get scored on. And, so it's something that, I think faith has helped me and is helping Bo and, all my teammates, just having a clear mind. I think having a clear mind when you're wrestling has helped me, tremendously. I've noticed like the best matches that I've wrestled, I don't even remember them. I don't remember like what I was thinking during them. I just remember just wrestling and just, truly having fun. And I think that's where, you could be at your best.
I feel like there's two kinds of elite athletes. There's the one that, there's a lot of kinds of elite athletes. Let me get that straight. But I'm splitting them into two categories right now. One, the one that thinks about their sport 24/7, never stops thinking about it, or the one that like loves their sport when they're doing it, and outside of that, they try to get it off their mind and not like waste too much energy on it. I think that both of those kinds of people can be just as successful as each other, but which one of those do each of you identify with more?
I feel like we're both pretty locked in.
Yeah.
I think, but there is that sense of, sometimes you're away from it and then you're away from it. But I think it's definitely more heavily tilted towards the, wrestling's what we do. And it's what we love to do. So I think that for me, it'd be like 80-20, I'd say, pretty locked in. And then sometimes, obviously, when you're with your family, obviously you want to be fully invested in that or whatever you're doing. If you're on a vacation, right, then it's that. But I was still getting workouts in. But I feel like, honestly, being locked in at this age is really important. And, I still get to do everything else that everybody else does. I live my life, and, I wouldn't want to do it any other way. I'm having fun, and I'm chasing my dreams. So I think that for me, though, I'm pretty locked in.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. We do a lot of workouts. We work out a lot, but, it's what you do, like, when you're not working out. So I'm thinking of wrestling, watching wrestling. Obviously, can't be thinking about wrestling 24/7. You got to do other things. So hang out with friends, getting ice cream, things like that.
Yes.
Are all good. And, I try to still be a kid and, do things that are fun, other than just wrestling, because, wrestling is going to be there. I'm going to be wrestling, or I'm going to be around wrestling, coaching, or, with my family, so just live life one day at a time, and, wrestling and doing just what I love, which, is ultimately wrestling and just being around people that I like to be around.
What about when you're in a tournament? Do you try to ever get your mind off of wrestling at all, like between matches, or even that, are you thinking about it?
At a tournament, that's all I'm doing. I put my phone away. I limit every distraction I can, and just kind of focused in on performing and, the next step, the next match, the next point. I think for me, it's just being locked in on those days for sure. But that's something I've always done, is put my phone away on competition days. If it's a long competition day, 8 to whatever, and I'm wrestling, then I'm probably not on my phone for all of that time unless there's a really big break or anything. So I think staying focused, staying, with the right intentions is really important on those days.
Yeah, I agree with him with some, but I think, like, for me at least, if I'm thinking about something for so long, I start to get nervous about it. I don't want to, like we were talking about earlier, I don't want to psych myself out before a match and, tire myself. So I'll try and take a nap, just sleep, just, be with my family, but obviously I'm still being locked in. I'm not going and messing around. I'm not playing football at a tournament.
Yeah. But naps are good.
I love naps. I'll if we're at like a high school and there's benches, I'll land between the benches, put something over my eyes and just take a nap. But, I think it's definitely super important to be locked in and not to be messing around. And, if you're there to wrestle, you're not there to, like both said, be on your phone or mess around with people.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the events we're into, like, a lot of them you have to make weight the next day. So it's kind of like, can't really, you got to stay dialed in at all times. But I agree with Jax. The naps are crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy good on those days. They hit different, I got to say.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, and I don't mean just being on your phone between matches or anything either. What I mean is, just like getting your feet up, like trying to not think about the next match.
Yeah.
And I'll go, like, it's all inside. So, I'll go outside, get some sun, just breathe some fresh air, try to just cool off and just enjoy the moment. There's going to be a day where it's done. So,
yeah, that's deep. Speaking on that note, you guys are both like really, do you feel mature for your age? Like, because as an older person, like, or I feel like most people that interact with you consider you guys as mature.
Yeah, I'm sure Bo gets the same thing. But, when I've done interviews or, talk to people, they always say how, like, mature I am and, how I act a lot older than, what I am. And, I take it as a compliment. It's just,
do you think that's the result of wrestling and being around older people a lot?
Everybody knows, we've wrestled at, college opens, senior things. We've gone to the OTC with these senior level athletes. We see how they act, and, obviously we want to be as good or, ultimately better than them. So, we try and act like we know what we're doing, and we're still trying to figure out, how that is. But so,
right. I think we're just around those type of people that are really high level, and we're not just watching wrestling matches. We're going to watch interviews. And, I think it's really important to know a lot about your sport and be fully invested in it as far as everything. So I think I'm just around a lot of really high level people, and we're really blessed for that.
If I wanted to see you guys in an environment where you're acting the most like a teenager, like not like a mature person for your age, what environment would that be in?
Probably the Ranger.
Yeah,
the what?
The Ranger.
Ice cream place?
Or
no, I think school. School is
Memorial Day parties, play football.
Yeah, I think, or watching the Steelers. He likes the Packers.
Yeah, I'm a Packers guy,
Okay.
but we're in a fantasy football group.
True.
it gets heated.
You guys make bets on that at all? Like,
well,
not money.
no,
Not money.
yeah, no money, but like, yeah, there's the guy that gets last or the guy that gets first, you know,
Yeah.
it's whatever it is. Yeah, no money though.
No money. Yeah.
No,
To
just
clarify. No, I had friends in high school that
Bragging rights.
they would have to wear something stupid.
Yeah.
Just
right, something like that. Yeah, or yeah.
Run a mile, drink a gallon of milk. Thanks.
yeah. Sure. Something like exactly like that.
Nothing crazy. That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
That's so funny. What do you guys do outside of wrestling? Like, do you have any hobbies, or do you guys do you play any other games? Do you play video games? What do you guys do when you're not wrestling?
Yeah, so for me, I already mentioned it, but I watch football. I'm a Steelers fan when it's in season. That's kind of one of those things. Like other sports, they have their seasons and then it's kind of over. Whereas wrestling is year round. You know, it's always in season. But anyway, I watch the Steelers in football, and then I like to watch college football. No specific teams because there's so many good ones, but I just watch that stuff. And I have 2 brothers at home, so I got a lot to do with Keegan and Melvin, and whether it's downstairs, playing football or whatever it is outside. I think we always have something to do. I lift a lot just because I have a built-in gym downstairs, and I'll go in the sauna or whatever it is. But I do a lot of normal stuff and hanging out with my friends.
No, it's just funny. You're like, yeah, I lift a lot. I sauna a lot. I do all this stuff.
And so, hanging out with my friends. A lot of my friends are wrestling friends.
Yeah.
And I like to travel and stuff. But I think that video games was bigger during like COVID time. Now it's kind of like there is no time really.
What were you playing?
Well, Fortnite was really big back then, so I did a little of that. But I play a lot of Madden too.
Okay.
We always played Madden. Me and my brother kind of had a rivalry, but I know I got the last win. I can say that. But as far as the all-time record, yeah, he crushed me.
Really?
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, he's always been good at Madden, but I got the last win, and we have
Younger kids always. Every time you think you're good at a video game, someone's
special ability and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, like you were saying, I got brothers and sisters, so if I'm not doing something with them, they're lifting like you said, or watching wrestling, like naps, take naps. But obviously, hang out with friends. I love food. I'm a big food guy.
Same.
So, if we're ever, going to a practice, that's an hour and a half away, we're getting food. We're stopping the way there. We're stopping the way back. We're getting food, just talking, just hanging out with each other. There's not much things to do around here, in Johnstown, besides just hang out with each other at someone's house, eat. And
where should we eat for dinner tonight?
Oh,
there's a few good spots. I would say, well, if you like sushi, Nico's is really good.
Sounds great.
Pappy's Pizza is good. It's like a homemade type spot, like not a chain restaurant. There's a lot.
You don't need to keep listening.
And I think you got shit.
You sold them at Nico's already.
Yeah, I feel like Nico's.
Okay, cool.
I'm getting that.
Do you guys like play any games when you're hanging out with your friends? Like you guys play on road trips? You play Mafia or anything like that? You guys get content?
One game.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
One that Herring always plays. It's like, everybody puts their name in, and then one person doesn't know what you're talking about, and so then they ask everyone questions about it, and they got to kind of try to take the clues and
Foster.
yeah, and then and then you got to figure out who it is. We always did that for like
Who's the best?
years.
Ebbets him.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Sam.
But I feel like it's his own game, and maybe he might be cheating. No, but probably him or his brother's good at it too. His little brother, but we all get our fair share of wins on there. But it's fun. It's really fun with us.
Yeah, but like
a lot of times we're just talking.
We're just talking, playing off of what each says, and everybody's it's super funny. We all just. Dude, like the best one is Melvin. Like it's over there, he's
off camera over.
No, it's funny. Also, I want to throw what I do in my free time too. I have a hunting camp. I was just up there 2 weeks ago, and no cell service. We got fields and mountains and lakes and rivers and all that, and so it's really cool. We just go out there. You kind of disconnect. You can fish. I like to fish more than hunt. I don't really hunt that much. But again, you got a big field, so we have all the yard games and all that, and
that's cool.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun up there, and just something up.
Do you like to fish?
I like to fish. I've never gone hunting. I'm from, kind of city, North Carolina,
Mhm.
not really hunting going on there. But I like to fish. I don't do it that much, but like when we're on vacation, I'll go fishing and stuff with my dad and brothers. But, we go to, I still have family live in North Carolina where we live. So I like to go down there and, it's a big difference. Like, obviously I'm talking about food a lot, but like the food options are so good down there, and weather's nice. Sometimes it's too hot though, like during summer. But I mean, it's good. I have fun down there. I get to see my grandparents, see old friends, my old wrestling club, shout out to Raw. They're great. I always go there. So just things to do. It's fun to hang out with people and be with my family.
Back to wrestling a little bit. Do each of you have like an idol that you based your style off of, or a few people that you like to watch that you are picking stuff up from all the time, whether it's someone that used to wrestle and is retired or someone that's still wrestling today?
My idol in life has always been my dad since the beginning. My idol as far as a coach has always been Coach Jody Strimatter. But as far as my idol in wrestling, it's Spencer Lee.
Yeah.
I was in the room with him, and to see a guy when you're just starting wrestling, winning world titles and bringing in his world belt and being able to, like, they're passing it around so you get to see it and like hold it, and it's like, that's what I want to do. And from the beginning, that was always my guy. And I actually passed him up now in weight, but we reconnected at the Olympic Training Center and we got to wrestle and train, and that was a full circle moment. But it was amazing. He's still the man. He's still doing his thing, obviously. And yeah, that's always been the guy. So I would say in life, it's always been my dad, and he's obviously my coach too. Coach was Coach Jody Strimatter, and then Spencer Lee, as far as a wrestler, were my idols and guys I looked up to. You want to be like,
yeah, I'm not, other than really my dad, I didn't really have idols like that. I mean, as I've gotten older, my style, I watched like, me and my coach, he always tells me to watch Satiev. Satiev kind of has that style where he could score from anywhere. So, watch him, try and pick up like little tricks here and there. But I mean, my style, I think was just based off my dad, how he wrestled and how he grew me up to wrestle. And, so that'd be my idol. And obviously my mom, I wouldn't be able to do any of it without
shout out
my
to moms.
Yes. I wouldn't be able to do all of this without them. And, all the money and the time and effort that they put in. I mean, it's up there with like anybody else in the world. And, I'm super grateful, and I know Bo is too.
Speaking about money, do you guys have any NIL expectations going into recruiting? Is it something you think about at all?
It's definitely part of wrestling now and part of college sports, and that's definitely, I think, an aspect of what you're looking for. It's not everything, right? You want to know where you best fit in as a person, wrestler, all that type of stuff with your faith. And I think that it's a big aspect now, though. And you've got guys that are willing to pay a lot of money, and obviously the transfer portal, that's been crazy. But yeah, that's a big part of it, and I'm excited to see what happens with that. But I know that I'm just going to keep trying to put myself out there. I always have on the social media and on the internet, and put positivity out there. It's always been something that I've enjoyed doing, and I think honestly it helps me become a better wrestler and be motivated and excited to go get better every day.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with Bo. It's not everything, but now with like, you get allowed to get paid in college and everything. I mean, it's definitely something, we'd be lying if we said it wasn't, just to try to look good. But, but obviously, like you said, money isn't the only reason. We're going there to wrestle and do school. That's just something that, we've worked for and we've earned, putting in all the time that we have. I mean, it's ultimately why we do it. I mean, we love it and we want to go to college and wrestle. And, now that we're able to get money from it, it's just like something that's like, wow, we were born at the right time. It's working out good, and we're excited for it and to see like what comes with it. We haven't really dealt with this before, so definitely excited for sure.
Speaking of about you going to school to go to school, what have you guys thought about what you want to study at all? No.
I have an idea, but it goes so many different ways. I mean,
I
guess. Part of me is like, oh, I want to do business. And then part of me is like, maybe I want to do marketing. And I know that goes the same, in the same category, but things like that. And then maybe part of you wants to be a doctor or whatever it may be. It's like you have interest in so many different things. And so it's
You guys have plenty of time.
tough to decide
Yeah.
down on one. But we actually have classes at my school that are kind of like career exploration and trying to help you in as far as I'm going. So I think those have been helpful. And yeah, I mean, it's really tough to decide. And, obviously part of you wants to wrestle forever and be a coach or whatever it may be. And, that's obviously a possibility too, but you want to have that major and, you want to finish and graduate school with, a plan. So I think that's really important too. Obviously education's number one.
Yeah, I mean, my dad kind of stumped me with the question earlier today, with, being able to get recruited, everything. He was like, so what do you want to major in? And I'm like, wrestling.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I haven't really thought about it. I'm so, like Bo's been saying, like, we're so locked in on wrestling. Like, it's hard to think about, what are you going to do after it? Because, I mean, it's not our whole life, but, it's a big part of what we're doing. So, it's just something I'm going to have to think more about now that it's coming closer, and I'm sure it's going to feel like tomorrow when I'm committing, and, then I'll really have to know what I want to do and when I want to do it.
Well, if it ever stresses you out, just know that I'm getting paid to sit here with you right now, and I majored in economics. So don't let it stress you out. So both of you are open to coaching one day, though?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's something we've talked about with, a couple of our, teammates and stuff. Like, how cool would it be if, we go our ways and then come back and, coach a college team one day, kind of like, what David Taylor's doing now with, brother-in-law and Gilman. That'd be something like, that would be like a dream.
Yeah.
Just reconnecting with, best friends from high school and, a team that we put together and coming back and doing it again. I think that'd be something really cool, and we've definitely talked about it.
Yeah, we've talked about coaching for sure, and that'd be great. I mean, your job is to go coach wrestling, and basically your job is wrestling. And no, I think that would be ideal. That'd be amazing. I know that Coach Strip Matter, that's what he does. He's a wrestling coach. He runs camps, he runs his club, and he goes year round. And in his words, he doesn't really work a day, right? You don't work a day if you're doing what you love, and I think that that's always been the goal for me. So my goal is to never work a day in my life because I love what I'm doing. So whether it is, getting my major, going to find a job, but if I love what I'm doing, then I'm not really working. So I think that's the goal for me.
What's more attractive to you, the idea of coaching a club like Jody, or like the idea of coaching at college?
Well, you saw what Taylor did. He did both, kind of, and he did the club for a while, a couple of years now, and then now he's doing the college coaching down at Oklahoma State. But I think for me, I don't know. That's pretty tough. I think it would be cool to do both, kind of like he did. Maybe transition from one to the other, and kind of feel it out, see what you like best. I don't really think you can do both, as far as with roles and stuff like that. But I think it'd be cool to do both. But I think what would maybe be better would probably be college wrestling.
Yeah, I think probably college, just in the fact that it would be a little easier, I think, because, Jody's been building this up for years, where if my wrestling can just take me to kind of like David or, John Smith or Dan Gable back in the day, like they got so good at wrestling that they could go coach wherever. That'd be something that, I think that would be, if I wanted to play out my life, it would be like that, go wrestle, world Olympic stages and then go and coach somewhere. I think that would be, the perfect outcome for my life.
Cool. Well, we're reaching the end of the interview. I have one more question I want to ask you guys. Do you believe in ghosts?
I do.
You do?
100%.
Have you ever had an experience?
I've never like a real experience like seeing anything, or I mean I've heard stuff, but I feel like all like houses or places make noises. But I do believe in ghosts.
Yeah. What do you think they are?
It's not like I'm
people or
a crazy like, that was a ghost, like constantly doing that. But I do believe that out there are ghosts, because I've seen crazier things, to be honest. I think so. I can definitely believe ghosts.
What's the crazier thing that you believe in?
I just think that there's some crazy things that exist. That like, how does that happen? Like, that you could really think about. And ghosts isn't that far.
Leprechauns.
No.
Okay.
No.
Mermaids.
No.
Maybe like a variation.
Souls and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Jax?
I'm not sure. I've never really thought about it like that. But I mean,
some form of it.
Yeah, I guess
You
like
don't know what it is.
maybe not
Yeah.
ghosts in itself.
Yeah, not like
So
the white Casper ghost. Yeah, I don't know about that, but like in some type of way, yes.
No experiences though.
No,
it's just watching Ghostbusters.
you see the TV shows and all that, but I don't know. I don't know if that's real. No firsthand experiences, but I do believe it. Yet.
All right. Well, are there any more questions that I should have asked you guys that I didn't ask you?
I think you asked a lot of good questions.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of good stuff. That was like there were some good ones that I was like, you thought about
Like
that.
the ghost.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, thanks,
That was
guys.
so good. No, I don't think I have anything, but just that I'm excited for this process. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I mean, all glory to God. Wouldn't be here without him.
Yep.
You guys are staying up till midnight tonight?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah. I feel
Yeah, we'll be up till midnight. Excited for that first call, second call, maybe third call. We'll see.
yeah,
See what happens.
and hopefully a good night of sleep and more calls in the morning when we wake up.
Yeah.
Are you guys? Do you think it'll be hard? Oh, sorry. Do you think it'll be hard to sleep tonight, knowing that there might be phone calls coming in while you're asleep?
I think I don't want to miss any,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I think
it's
you
like
might wake up at 5 a.m.
people are gonna call me at 5 a.m. because they'll think I'll be up for the workout again. But I already did it today, and I'll be up till midnight. I'm not gonna be up at 5 a.m. But that would be cool. I'll probably have missed calls at 5 a.m. Now that I think about it, maybe not. But I think that I'll sleep good since we were up. So
yeah.
since
So good to say we're gonna be up.
we were working hard too today.
Yeah, we did.
This morning. So
Did you take a nap between the 5? So we were with you at the 5 a.m. workout, and then
Yeah.
you were at 9:30 to 1:30. Did you take a nap at all between the small ones? Yeah.
yeah, I can't really go back to sleep. Like when it's school year, no.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I'm a shower and we live like 20, 25 minutes away. So 5 a.m. ends at 6. We get home usually 6:30. I'd sleep until 7. Wake up, shower, put clothes on. Leave the house at 7:30. Get to school
And keep in mind, first bell is
7:40, 7:50,
7:40 is the
7:40.
homeroom bell.
Ooh.
So that's pretty.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it was like
that is right on.
8:09 last.
Well, because you're like 6 minutes away.
Yeah, I'm close. 8 out because I have to drive over here.
Yeah.
Drive back over there.
That's true.
Actually, I did remember just one more question. Now there's unlimited visits. Do you guys plan to take as many as possible? Do you want to narrow it down so you're not spending too much time visiting schools? What do you think about that?
I'm not sure when visits start, but I know I won't take any, obviously, till after Worlds. And then maybe till after, like, I just keep getting set back from big events that are coming up. And I know I'll be at Worlds. I know I'll be at who's number one, hopefully. And then I know I'll be at Super 32. So those are all kind of in a row. And then maybe after that, I'll do a lot of visits, maybe a couple before. I don't know what my plan is, but yes, I'll take advantage of that role. I'm not just going to sit on
So
whatever.
5 used to be the max. I think
Yeah.
you'll do more than 5.
Probably.
I
Yeah.
feel like, I know they aren't official visits, but I feel like throughout the years, like even last year, I did more than 5 visits. It wasn't a visit, but like training camps or
Right.
this or that on a weekend. I feel like I was doing that a lot
Yeah.
throughout the year. So I would say, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. And God willing, we can go on some together.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I look forward to that.
Not only just
Try to book the same weekends.
yeah,
I don't think any college coaches would say no to that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I just think it'd be cool, like, because I'm not sure how many people usually go on a visit, like, but I think it'd be pretty cool if all 7 of us, like just us 7,
yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool, just hanging out and thinking about what the future could hold for all of us.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm excited for you guys. Hope you're excited. And yeah, it's over. Okay.
Oh,